Are you struggling for consistency in your sim racing? Does your iRating look like a roller coaster? If so, we have good news for you. The way to get more consistent is to first understand what you're doing differently than the professionals. And VRS is the answer. With our competitive subscription, you will have the telemetry, setups, tutorials, and everything else you need to fully analyze your driving. Our data packs and the ability to compare your driving with the best in the world will show you exactly where to adjust your inputs, change your driving line, and shave seconds off of your lap times. And our powerful and precise Direct Force Pro wheelbase and precision pedals are being used by some of the world's best drivers. All these champions agree that VRS hardware is not just the best on the market, it's also priced well below the competition. So if you're looking to upgrade to direct drive and the best pedals in sim racing, VRS is your answer. If you want to get better, get faster, and make it happen sooner rather than later, you owe it to yourself to find out why so many people are switching to VRS. You'll be so glad that you did. Visit www.virtualracingschool.com and learn why the best use VRS.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
A new season begins on one of the most iconic stages in motorsport. Welcome to Daytona International Speedway and the legendary road course as the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge kicks off its 15th season right here in the virtual racing capital of the world. Over the next 75 minutes, 3 classes, GTP, GT3 Pro, and AM, will open an 8-round campaign where every point counts and every lap matters. I'm Greg Ginsburg along with Larry Lefty McLeod in the commentary box with Jonathan Grabowski making us laugh behind the scenes and making sure that all the viewers here on Apex Racing TV have the best seat in the house. High-speed banking, tight infield corners, and constant traffic tonight. As Larry, I think we've got somewhere close to 70 racers out on track. The constant demand of absolute focus from green flag to checkered flag is going to be here all night long. It's a circuit that rewards bravery, precision, and discipline, and there's no better place to launch a season where championships are built one lap at a time than here at Daytona, Larry.
You know, Greg, I've been looking forward to this for like a month. This is going to be great. Apparently so has everyone else. You mentioned nearly 70 cars in the session here tonight. Yeah, it's well beyond 60. This is a massive field, and who will win? Well, that depends. But we're going to be watching for all of them to see what new names, new faces, and maybe some of the old guard can come in here and try and win the opening round. It's not going to be easy. This is going to be, I can't wait for turn 1. It's going to be absolutely treacherous. We don't have the LMP2s anymore. That just means we've got a bigger field of these, the GTPs. That's going to be exciting. And a massive field of GT3 GT3s. This is just the biggest we have ever seen by far.
Yeah, indeed, Larry. We've got, I think, 15 or so GTP racers out here tonight. Actually, more than that. I think I think Aaron Beaver hasn't put in qualifying, nor Bobby Childs. So put it at 17 GTP racers with Stephen Hudek, our season 14 champion. We've got Bailey Petrowski coming back after a season's sabbatical, looking for another championship. And then we've got Elvis Rankin, who joined us for a couple of races last season in the GT3 ranks. We're going to find Elvis here racing in one of the BMW M-Power GTP cars, as we're on board with him right now. And Larry, we're about 8 minutes into our Speed Lab qualifying session, where we do give our drivers 4 opportunities to set their fastest lap and set the grids for tonight's race. As we take a look now at Leo Dragota from the Orion race team, back once again in the car that he definitely feels comfortable in. That is the Mercedes-AMG GT3, the number 118 machine. He is currently your provisional pole sitter in the class, and like all of the pro racers in GT3, he's got those red number boards on the sides of the car. He's got the red windshield banner and end plates on the wings. You'll be able to pick Leo, as well as all the other GT3 pro racers out on the side of your screen. They will also be marked in red. Whereas over in the AM ranks, let's take a look. Actually, let's go to somebody else, because we're showing Chester Guidry actually as our leader in the AM field. He's actually going to be racing in the pro ranks, so hopefully we'll get that resolved. But let's take a look at Michael Klimovich from Slow Bros Racing in his Porsche 911 GT3 machine. He is now your third fastest driver in AM. It'll show as fourth on that side of the screen, but like all the AM drivers except Chester Guidry from HTPK Racing, they'll have the green number boards, windshield banners, yada yada yada.
All that stuff.
All that
now
stuff.
Now that we've done the business out of the way, let's talk a little bit about this. You look right now at the early lead of the qualifying here at GT3 Pro. Some familiar names there, of course, with Leo Dragota, Ilya Speaker running down the order there. You take a look, though, at GTP. You mentioned Elvis Rankin joining us here. He had joined a couple of these races, but in the GT3 Pro in the past season, did pretty well on a couple of rounds. He joined us, jumping into the prototypes here tonight, so this could be interesting with Elvis joining him there right now with, it says D, I believe that's one of our rookies this season, Ja Di Gregorio, one of our Brazilian drivers joining us, and it shows up in the list, of course, it's just D, but he does have a full name, I promise. But a couple other familiar names, of course, down that list then, Stephen Hudek, Josh Chinsky, Fernando Takahashi, just to name a few there. And then, of course, in the AM ranks, leading the way right now, James Vogler, one of the rookies here this season. We'll see how he stacks up right now, early lead on the qualifying list in AM, with behind him Keith Stein, familiar name. And then we've got Corey Sircone in the third spot, and Noah Hogg, a couple of new names as well there.
New faces, exactly.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like we may have gotten Chester Guidry fixed in our timing and scoring. He is currently 7th fastest in GT3 Pro, and Larry, you and I were talking before we went on air about how often we found Chester in the top 5 of all the GT3 racers back in season 14. So we'll definitely be watching there as we go. Now, we saw Leo Dragota. We now take a look at his younger brother, Lucas, for Dragon Sport Racing, who is the racer just a touch faster than Chester Guidry at the moment. The Mercedes driver currently 6th fastest in Pro, and that is the best he's going to manage, as he has already completed his 4th and final lap. So let's move over now to Mike Dam, driving the number 93 Ferrari. And Mike Dam, once again, picking a new chassis here for season number 15. He's been, most of the Orion racers have been going their own way, Larry, over the past couple of seasons, and picking the chassis that are most comfortable to them, as opposed to the entire team settling on one. And Mike is going to have to settle for 7th fastest as he completes his 4th and final lap.
I think we've got our pre-race interviewee waiting
do.
for us if we want to have a talk with him.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell you what, Larry, let's bring in Bailey Petrowski, our season, let's see, what is it? Season 13 GTP champion, season 12, and season 10. So looking for his 4th GTP championship here in the World Challenge from D2D Sim Racing, Bailey Petrowski.
It is Bailey Petrowski, and Greg, I think you forgot one. Season 8. He's got 4 GTP championships already, not including, I believe it was an LMP3.
An LMP, yeah, 3.
Too much to talk about. Let's talk to the man himself. Bailey, how have you been? You took a season off, but you are back. Are you ready for the competition?
Absolutely. I'm loving how competitive it is coming back. I wanted to come back, a new car, kind of have a fresh start, and it's just gotten so much more competitive, I feel like, since in the one season I came back. Also, just the Cadillac, it doesn't feel great around here. I think it's going to be a lot better at a lot of the other tracks. It just does not have the straight line speed for this track, and I'm just not comfortable qualifying in it yet, so not the best qualifying performance I've had, but I'm very excited to see how this season's going to go with how competitive it is right now.
Yeah, we looked down the list here. We're used to seeing you at the top, and right now I think I see so far 7th on the grid. That's a little bit different. So how are you going to be taking this challenge? What's your approach going into this now, knowing you'll be starting maybe back on row 4?
At least going in turn 1 here, I just going to be as cautious as I can be. I think a lot of this is going to be survival with how many cars there's going to be on the track, how much traffic there is, especially with this new bus stop or the new Le Mans chicane. The curbs are brutal there, so I imagine a lot of people are going to be having issues with there, and there could be quite a bit of drama in that area with either people crashing or having issues with traffic. So I think it is going to be a bit of survival for the race. I'm going to do my best to see where I can end up, but it's kind of a scouting race for me here, see where I'm going to actually be at for the rest of the season.
Yeah, speaking of that, the revised Le Mans chicane, we haven't had a chance to talk about that here pre-race, but tell me a little bit about what you see different and how it's going to impact either the risk-reward maybe of those curbs now that they've raised them a little bit.
Yeah, so, I mean, for one, it is a lot slower, but it's also a lot tighter. Before, you could maybe barely get away with going side by side, and GTPs could be a lot more aggressive on entry and kind of dive bomb late on entry, but now we have that massive curb on the first turn of it, and so if we try and go down there, we're most likely getting airborne and likely spin, so it kind of forces us to take it a lot easier going into it. And then coming out of it as well, we used to be able to kind of time it a lot better with, like, we would lift, coast, and then try and get the best exit coming out of it and time it with where the GT3 is to make sure we don't get slowed down the exit and then potentially disadvantaged. So now that we have that big curb at the end instead of just grass, that's a lot more of a risky maneuver. So it's gonna require a lot more patience, I think, from the GTP field for it. So it'll be very interesting to see how it goes.
I'm looking forward to it, and it looks like Grid's going to be queuing up. Do you have any quick mentions you want before you head off to Grid?
I just want to thank everyone for watching and everyone for continually supporting the series, and hopefully I can speak to you guys at the end of one of these races this season with how it is.
All right, well, good luck, Bailey,
right.
and yeah, maybe just we'll
Appreciate
talk to you
it.
at the end or sometime this season. Good luck.
Sounds good. Appreciate it. You guys have a good one.
All right, as Bailey's got to run to the grid, thanks so much for joining us, Larry. Let's quickly
It's
take
Le
a
Mans
look
style.
at the results of Speed Lab qualifying. Tell you what, I'll start off here with our GTP racers, where Elvis Rankin did manage on his last flying lap to take pole in the 001 car for Speed Lab Esports with a qualifying time of 1:32.148. João de Gregorio, gosh, the name right after me. I love that. From Rosso Esports out of Brazil, he's going to start on the outside of the front row. Starting on the inside of row number 2, it is our season 14 champion for SRT Esports, Stephen Hudak. He's going to start right alongside his teammate, Josh Chinsky. Fernando Takahashi from Rosso Esports, also hailing from Brazil. He's going to start 5th today with Connor Nixon from Orbit Drop Bear Motorsports starting in 6th. Starting on the inside of row number 4, you just heard from him from D2D Sim Racing in the Cadillac this season. Bailey Petrowski in the 115 machine with Jake Vasconcelos from SRT Esport starting in 8th. Starting 9th, another rookie of ours, it's Jack Polyak from SRT Esports, and he's going to be starting alongside Tyler Zube. Then we've got Tanner Dibble from DNA and Ben Rose from DNA Motorsports as well. And we're not done yet. Another racer from DNA Motorsports is Jordan Butler starting lucky 13th, with Ryan Amelis from Speed Lab starting 14th, Bobby Babaletskos and Bobby Childs, and then Aaron Beaver rounding out the GTP field.
All right, real quick, we get a couple rows here at GT3s. On the pole, Leo Dragotta from Orion Race Team. Alongside Leo is going to be Ilya Speaker from Rockefeller Racing. Row 2, it's going to be another Rockefeller on the inside of Milan Harris, lined up alongside another Orion driver, Shay McNeely. Third row, Michael Brooks from The Wrong Stuff, and Lucas Dragotta from Tomas Eng Sim Racing. On row 4, it's going to be Mike Dam on the inside. And on the outside of row 4, we got Chester Gidry, HTPK. And then on row 5, Jeff Brooks and Chase West, both from The Wrong Stuff. Then James Vogler, your fastest of your AMs. Keith Stein right alongside him there on row 6. And I think we're about to go green.
That's right, Larry. Pace car now going to head down to the pit lane. There he goes, makes the run over, turning the field over to Elvis Rankin. And when we get to the grandstands here, we'll hear the green flag, and there it is. Green flag is in the air, and we are racing here at Daytona. It's season 15 of the Ricmotech World Challenge, and already going wide. And Larry, off into the fence. We've got a number of our GTP cars. Fernando Takahashi involved. I think Ben Rose may have been involved. Aaron Beaver as well, as our GT3 racers now take the green, led by Leo Dragotta. Sliding in behind him is going to be Ilya Speaker from Rockefeller Racing. Shay McNeely, a rookie this season, battling it out with Milan Harris, and they go side by side into turn 1 and then into the little dog leg over at turn 2 as they make the run now down to the International Horseshoe for the first time, making a run down the inside. Lucas Dragotta, what a move as he tries to get around Michael Brooks.
Oh, and there's more mayhem in the mid and back of field, and another spinner as well. I can't even tell it's an Orion driver spinning there in the middle of the pack there in that first horseshoe. Meanwhile, we'll get back to see what the order looks like, but it is Elvis Rankin out in front early. João Di Gregorio in second. He was able to get through that first corner mayhem. It looks like it was Fernando Takahashi and Josh Chinsky, I think, that did not, as we'll get back to them in a second. But just absolute chaos there at the start of the GTPs. As we start to see now who in the GT3s made it through. There you go, Ilya Speaker in the second spot right alongside. Should be, I believe, one of his teammates alongside him.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe that is Milan Harris in the 96 Porsche, also from Rockefeller Racing there. And then just a little bit behind them, Shay McNeely in the other Porsche, as well as Lucas Dragotta. That is your top 5 in pro. And Larry, interesting, given what we saw there in the first couple of corners. We'll have to see how the stewards rule on this. New rule for season 15, causing a wreck on lap 1 will result in having to start the next race from the pit lane. So conceivably some huge ramifications as we go to our second round, which will be in 2 weeks at Watkins Glen.
That will be interesting because we saw a couple of cars sliding into turn 1. We'll see who, if anybody, takes a penalty for that. And then, of course, going into the horseshoe on the first lap of the GT3 is certainly a lot of mayhem and contact there. We'll see what kind of penalties are passed throughout. Meanwhile, Elvis Rankin continues to pull away here early, a second and a half, up on Di Gregorio. Now, Di Gregorio was quicker in the practice session leading up to qualifying, so don't think that Elvis is just going to walk away here. He's got great pace course. He was on pole there in the Speed Lab entry, but Di Gregorio has the pace to stick with him in the long run in the 75-minute race tonight. So we'll keep our eye on the pace and gap between them.
All right, as we jump a little bit further back into the AM field here, as we're watching the battle between Michael Klimovich, Keith Stein, and Noah Hogg. Hogg in the Porsche. There he is, the number 41 machine, just ahead. The Corvette of Keith Stein with Michael Klimovich in one of the Porsche 911s up ahead as well. Larry should note that Fernando Takahashi took his Ferrari GTP machine onto the pit lane, and he's taking repairs. So apparently, and also seeing now a couple of other drivers in the pit lane. Jennifer McDonald, who I think might have gotten caught up in that GT3 incident to open up the race in the number 99 Mercedes. She took to the pit lane, as did Brian Bennett in the Sector 5 McLaren. Nathan Hemperly, one of our rookies this season, looks like he is just now leaving the pit lane as well.
Absolute chaos here early on. Meanwhile, we're taking a look here as Ethan Bass trying to make the move. Heading into turn 1, it's going to get dicey here. All three of these in Mustangs, as Dan Carrito is trying to defend, not able to there. Bass gets up in front of him, and then right in front of the two of them is Filippo Barberi. So three Mustangs now all bunched together. Is that Josh Vidal, I believe, right in front of him in that McLaren?
I was just going to say, Josh Vidal in the McLaren just ahead. Of course, Vidal racing for HSR Phantom Racing once again this season. Just ahead, again, is that battle that we were watching. We got Brian Coxon in his McLaren, about 50, 60 car lengths ahead, then Hogg and Stein. Coxon running 9th in Pro at the moment, Stein and Hogg running 5th and 6th in AM. Things starting to tighten up a little bit at the front of the field with the many DNA Motorsports GTP racers. Of course, we've seen a lot of the racers that were in the LMP2 field move up to the GTP ranks, and it is made for a very large field. Of course, there are a couple of our SRT racers, Jack Polyak and Tyler DeZube, two rookies this season checking in. Jake Vasconcelos, another one of our SRT racers, just a little bit behind, about another second back from this duo. You can see there in the black, silver, and green livery of DNA. As DeZube takes a quick look underneath his teammate, makes the pass going into turn 1, move him up now into 5th position. And Larry Bailey Petrowski, who started this race on the inside of row number 4 in 7th position, he's made up 2 positions now and is up into 5th in the D2D Cadillac, and looks like he may be challenging Connor Nixon in the Orbit Drop Bear Ferrari. Takes a quick look to the inside.
Yeah, that I think actually might be Fernando Takahashi.
Is that Takahashi?
Yeah, I do believe that is there in the 23.
Oh, yeah, it's Takahashi. Currently sitting back 23rd, or probably 17th in GTP at the moment, after having to take that run down the pit lane after that opening lap.
Yeah, so he's going to be a lap down, but right now just in front of Bailey on track. So we got a couple of cars running wide there. One of the Mustangs slow to go through the bus stop, and then you've got that McLaren there missing some body work coming out of the bus stop. All kinds of mayhem and madness here on the opening laps.
I think the McLaren that is Chase West in the 757 machine, currently running 16th. What is he running? I'm sorry. I'm showing him as 6th. Yeah. Currently running 17th, I believe, in Pro in that wrong stuff McLaren. Jump back, and Larry, you were spot on. It didn't take long for Di Gregorio to close things up on Elvis Rankin, who jumped off to that early lead with all the mayhem behind. He was able to just scoot away. He does get great runs out of turn 6 and onto the oval, though.
Yeah, well, the pressure's coming from Di Gregorio right there behind now as they head through the bus stop, and with the slower, one of the slow bros actually right there in front of them coming out. I don't know if it was David Klimovich, perhaps. I think it was. Now you've got a battle for the lead. Yeah, Di Gregorio now trying to do the draft pass here, only on lap 6. Lots of GT3 traffic ahead. They're going to go side by side across the stripe and around as they go.
And this is going to be. I was going to say, Larry, they've got no choice to go high, but Rankin cut down to the inside as they came into turn 1, and Di Gregorio kind of got hung out to the dry on the outside there.
Yeah, that's all right. Long race ahead. Only 10 minutes into the 75-minute endurance run as they continue their little scrap here on the infield, picking apart GT3s left and right in this massive field. There's somewheres of 45 to 50 GT3 cars in this session here. I've never seen this many. This is absolutely crazy as they come up with one of the Orion entries there. Just trying to get past is Di Gregorio. But getting these runs, if you're trying to create separation, you got to do it here at these slow apexes heading out onto the banking. Di Gregorio does all right. He manages to not lose too much time, but you see Rankin getting a better launch this time. Catch a little draft off of each one of them as he goes by.
Yeah, you can see as Rankin moves over just to quickly get any whiff of a draft he can off of the GT3 cars ahead.
And Rankin trying to throw a GT3 right in the front of Di Gregorio, and it's successful. That is the 24. Quickly check and see who that is.
I think that was James Vogler.
It is, yes. Ram leader.
And Vogler, a privateer, his first run here in the World Challenge, and he is see where he's from. Lives in my old neck of the woods. Comes from Maryland, so right on the eastern seaboard. And Larry, he joined iRacing for the first time in March of last year, so only a year on this platform, and doing quite well here early on in round 1.
Well, our past season AM winner there, Chester Goodry, now running a pro class, just had the Di Gregorio car going around him as we check back in with Milan Harris here in the 96. That's in that Rockefeller Racing entry, chasing down Shea McNeely. A couple of Porsches battling it out here at the front of the field. Jagoda and the Mercedes is a couple seconds out in front, so this is the battle for second here between McNeely and Harris.
McNeely here racing for the Orion race team. He's been at it a little bit longer than Vogler. He's been racing on iRacing since 2019, and from the opposite side of the country comes to us from Oregon, USA. And actually, he's not don't think he's a rookie, Larry. I think we had seen him not last season, but if I remember, he was in for a couple of events for Orion back in season 13. This is absolutely bonkers as you watch these GTP cars trying to slide past a never-ending line of GT3 racers, and especially as they're going into it. And you know, we saw this with Di Gregorio on the last lap as they came down to turn 6 to the that final left-hand, almost a hairpin that brings you onto the oval. There was just a line of GT3 cars that were trying to get down to the apex there, and he was in a pretty precarious spot.
Well, it is just absolutely crazy here to watch how, because this track is only so big, but all of the intense traffic here early in this race, 13 minutes into this thing, and there's still a train of GT3 cars. All of these GTPs have to continue to just snake their way through as best they can. Here's a good spotlight on Connor Nixon, who's trying to stay with Steven Hudak. Staying close here in the battle for third. Now, Hudak was really at the front of the field last season in every single round, had a lot of bad luck come his way.
Yes.
But he certainly was one of the quickest, and here he is now, third place, about 7 seconds back from the front battle going on between Rankin and Di Gregorio. Hudak could be creeping up on that battle. Anything that happens to Rankin and Di Gregorio could definitely fall then right into Hudak's lap. But Nixon doesn't want to go anywhere either. He wants to stick right there with Hudak in this battle for third.
You know, I don't know what happened the last 2 times around, Larry, but Hudak was almost a full second off of our leaders this time through, and on the previous lap, almost 2 seconds. Yeah, exactly. It's got to be the traffic.
Yeah, the traffic is absolutely crazy for these guys. All it takes is a couple of slow corners. As you can see here, you've got the lead now in GT3, sort of right amongst this whole group as the GTPs are trying to come through. And if you have to follow a GT3 through one of these long horseshoe corners or through turn 1, your lap time is just going to get absolutely destroyed. Oh, look at the aggressive moves, though, as Di Gregorio trying to continue. That's actually Takahashi now. He's lap downs from the leaders in GTP, but certainly not going to back off the aggression here going through the GT3 group. That's Harris, Lucas Dragotta, all kind of bunched in right there. Just falling just a little bit back from Shea McNeely, who's got a little bit of a buffer now on 3rd and 4th place.
All right, so we're just a little bit over 15 minutes into this 75-minute race. First race of season number 15. So 60 minutes remain. Your leaders, Elvis Rankin in GTP with João de I'm gonna have trouble with this all night long, Larry. João de Gregorio running in second. Over in GT3 Pro, it's Leo Dragotta and Shea McNeely, both for Orion Racing, and then on the AM side, it is currently James Vogler, a privateer, and Corey Sircone from SRT Esport. Nice to see SRT guys fielding some GT cars here as well after for so many seasons in the LMP and GTP fields.
We're going to send you down to Sao Paulo for a couple of weeks so you can come back speaking Portuguese.
I'm good with it.
It'd be a lot of fun this time of year.
Beach.
Yep. Beautiful weather down there all year round. There's a good look at that.
For a while.
Yeah, perfect. Head down there
and to get shot. Not the stereotype or anything.
No, not at all. Well, some clean air here for our front two in GTP, Rankin and Di Gregorio. Further back, Vasconcelos now in that battle with Ryan and Moyles. Good little group here, but we'll see if Vasconcelos has any patience as they head down the banking across the stripe here onto the front straight.
Vasconcelos takes a run around the outside, heading into turn 1. They're nose to nose, and Moyles, holds him off. And Larry, who was that facing the wrong way?
Yeah, that was Takahashi again, having more issues. That's the same corner he struggled in turn 1, lap 1. Here he is again. I'd say that is a very difficult corner, and if you don't do a lot of sim racing, you don't drive that corner, you really don't know how difficult it is to be doing max speed in these cars, coming all the way down to a second gear, maybe a third gear, to try and bend that turn in coming off the banking. It's extremely difficult to do it just right and get back on the gas without losing all the time. And Fernando's showing us how difficult that corner can be.
I thought he was looking back to see what he got wrong, but all right. And Larry getting a word. Penalty coming down. The number 71 car getting a drive-through penalty. Lap 1 for contact in the bus stop chicane. Yeah, it's well, and we saw that Bennett had his McLaren falling all the way to the back of the field, and he is back on course right now, but is running almost 9 laps, I think 8 laps down from the rest of the GT3 field.
Oh,
so
it's a little bit, yeah, little graphic issues here with so many cars in the sim tonight, but yeah, it didn't look good. Definitely did not look good. As we check back in with Stephen Hudak, your previous season champ in GTPs, picking his way through the field. Nixon right there with him, not going anywhere at this stage, but they are losing ground to Rankin and Di Gregorio. They're now about 8 seconds back, is Hudak from the front two.
And Larry, I was, with Bailey during your interview, he mentioned the new curbing at the Le Mans chicane, or the old bus stop chicane, and it really is throwing not only the GTP cars but the GT3 cars as well. That they don't seem to do a great job of soaking it up. Let's take a look as Hudak comes through, and he handles and it doesn't seem to be a problem on the turn in off of the oval, but the last right and then left, that curbing is so tall, and especially if you're trying to straighten that exit out of the bus stop.
Yeah, one of the things you have to retrain yourself, and Bailey kind of mentioned this as well. It's a very different exit speed than it used to be. You used to be able to just you'd come into it, you'd float the car a little bit for a second while it would wait, and then hook up, and you'd get that great run back onto the banking. Now it's a pinch. The exit of this is actually a much tighter pinch than you anticipate. So you can go flying into it, but you have to continue braking as the car is loaded to driver's right as you make that left bend in. You'll come onto the brakes. You have to continue to brake as you transfer the weight then back to the outside, the left side now as you're starting to turn the bend to the right. If you don't do it right, you'll push out and you will hit that last curb even harder. Super important to be able to manage that weight transfer and slow that speed down mid-corner. As this little battle is continuing to wage on, here's Vasconcelos now is just continue to push Ryan Amoyles as they are now on the infield, but these guys have been going at it for probably 5-6 laps now.
And Larry, just a quick update. We saw Chase West's McLaren running noseless a little bit earlier. He decided to bring his car down the pit lane, and he is taking repairs right now for that. Also, Keith Stein had his Corvette on the pit lane and took some repairs. He is now back out on track, unfortunately running 18th in AM at the moment and 3 laps down.
And we've got a new leader in the race. João Di Gregorio has got the advantage now just ahead of Elvis Rankin. Not sure how long that's going to last. They're going to continue to battle all the way down into turn 1. Now, we just saw, of course, Di Gregorio's teammate, Fernando Takahashi, having an issue in that corner. No issues this time for João. He makes it through, but what will be an issue is I see a Chester Guidry and a few other GT3s right in front of them. Lights are flashing. Schwenke's going to cut off the nose there. That's going to help Rankin now get side by side as they head to the kink.
And then Rankin, then he finds that he's not going to have a way around Travis Schwenke. He slots in behind the Ferrari, but now tries to go around the outside of the Western Horseshoe. And Larry, if he can stay right there, he might be in a real good position. Well, I thought he was going to be in a good position coming down to the exit.
He's going to make one. They got contact into the wall with both.
That was a very, very late move there by Elvis Rankin. And Larry, as he pitched the car to the inside, you saw there under braking, the rear end step out on him. Let's take a look at the overhead here.
Great overhead view. Yeah, watch Rankin. The late move, the lunge, and never held it. Locked up the rear. Cost them both. The stewards are definitely going to take a look at that.
Oh, that is unfortunate for both. But Larry, that puts our season 14 champion Stephen Hudak now into the lead and he's got a nice little advantage for now on Rankin, about a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds. We'll have to see though, because Rankin had been, both he and Di Gregorio had been lapping faster than Hudak in the last couple of laps.
Well, Rankin also had the meatball on for damage, as does Di Gregorio. They're both coming in now, potentially to repair some damage, and we're going to wait and see what the stewards have to say about potentially blame and penalties for that contact. But as you mentioned, Stephen Hudak, right place, right time, taking over the lead there. Got a couple second advantage now on Connor Nixon, who moves up to second, and Bailey Petrowski now to third, just about 5 seconds off of the lead. So game on. I tell you, last season, Stephen Hudak had some of the worst luck. Event after still managed to clinch the championship, but it wasn't for good luck. I'll tell you that. Maybe tonight his luck has finally turned compared to where it was a season ago.
Well, we'll see you here, Larry. So as we focused on Fernando Takahashi a little while ago after his exploits over in turn 1, there may have been another car involved with him, Larry, as Takahashi's just been assigned a drive-through penalty. And was that Tyler DeZube, one of our DNA Motorsports Porsche 963 drivers. As he goes off, he loses now 3 positions and falls back behind Tanner Dibble, Jordan Butler, and Ben Rose.
Yeah, a little bit of issues there. Takahashi said getting that penalty, he's had some issues all over the place. Hudak now, his teammates behind him might be having issues with Zube and the others, but Hudak right now just wants clean air. That's all he wants. Just start to pull away, grind out some laps here. It's not going to be easy because everything, it seems, is in a battle.
Uh-oh, Larry. I'm getting word that Bobby Childs has had an issue.
Fan favorite Bobby Childs. Looks like he's running again,
but Bobby Childs
has an issue. Well, let's see on the infield. My replay shows it. There at turn 6, trying to turn out of the banking, right where the issue was there between Rankin and Di Gregorio. This time, Bobby all by himself. A little bit of a tail slide. Maybe the rear brakes lock it up a little bit too much on these cars at low speed corners.
All right. Well, that's no harm, no foul, other than probably flat spotting some tires. He's back underway. Currently running 14th in pro, or probably in GTP.
Just
as
a bit ego.
Yeah. Larry, Bobby Childs has no ego.
Yeah, Rankin and Di Gregorio still in the pits performing repairs. It's going to be a little while. That's unfortunate because there's a pretty good battle going on. Tough way for that to come to an end. But we got a couple other things happening around here. Of course, you've got Leo Dragota still leading over teammate Shane McNeely. A couple seconds between there. Lucas Dragota has moved his way up now to third in GT3 Pro. So it's Dragota, McNeely, Dragota. Then you got the Rockefeller Racing teammates with Milan Harris. And, now Mike Dam has moved up past Ilya Speaker. So Dam now the third Orion driver, now taking over the 5th spot in GT3 with Ilya Speaker now from Rockefeller Racing back to 6th. Then you've got Chester Guidry, HTPK Racing, currently 7th here in Pro.
All right. A number of other drivers starting to make their way to the pit lane. One of them, Keith Stein, in the number 84 Corvette. He was just assigned a drive-through penalty for incident responsibility. Jimbo Pfeiffer in his McLaren coming down the pit lane. I think Jimbo had an off on the previous lap. He may be coming down for repairs.
Oh, this is going to get interesting here. Yes. Yeah, just kind of watching Zeb Petrowski being cautious and tentative there. Doesn't want to push the issue too much. Smart with what we've seen so far. Smart to just be a little bit on the conservative side there for the D2D Bailey Petrowski.
Yes, he works his way by James Vogler. And then there was somebody.
Is that Travis Schwenke?
I think that might. Is that Travis? I think that might be Travis. It's either him or possibly
it's Hartley.
Yeah,
Robert Hartley,
another one of the Orion Aston Martins.
Having some issues there near the West Horseshoe, but got it going again. Right in front of the rest of the crowd there behind him. They head in towards the Le Mans chicane. Vogler right behind him. It's going to get spicy here coming out of there. That's Carlos Barrero there in the 14, just moving aside. He's a lap down from this group, so he's going to let the others take precedent and head on through. He might just sort of tack in behind them when they get up down towards start-finish in turn 1. The
Aston's got outside as long as he can to let some of the faster traffic and unlapped traffic through.
Well, I'll tell you what, the Aston Martin looks like it's got pretty strong power here at this track. The Porsche not able to do anything, even with a little bit of draft there behind him, was Vogler. So good, strong power there for Hartley in the Aston Martin, as long as the handling is good, and I'm not sure that it's really up to where he's used to being. We'll keep an eye on him.
Ooh, is it getting dicey there?
Yes.
Coming out of the International Horseshoe. I think that was, Dibble and Butler, the two Acuras that were just behind. Actually, no, I take that back. I think Jake Vasconcelos and Bobby Babaletskos, the Porsche and the Cadillac, bottled up in that group of GT3 Porsche. A lot of GT3 Porsches. They seem to get by coming out of the infield, as they are currently working lap 19. And Larry, the pit window for the GTP racers I see is opening up somewhere right around lap 20. So coming up pretty soon here. The GT3 racers, their pit window should be opening up in about 2 laps.
Oh, this is going to get spicy here, as Babaletskos now going to make it too wide on the upper side, leave the GT3 single file underneath. But there's GT3s ahead.
Up, on Josh Chinsky there. Oh, as they're coming up on a number of cars that might impact their ability to get cleanly down into turn 1. There we go. Little coverage now given to Chinsky, with Babaletskos being caught up there in traffic. Well, they're both caught up in traffic at this point.
Yeah,
Let's go on board with Josh Chinsky and his Ferrari, new to him this season.
Well, this is the battle we were watching a lap ago, from the GT3 perspective, of course.
Yeah.
Robert Hartley, trying to hold off the crowd behind him, including, I think, your AM leader right in there with Vogler. Saccone now actually with the lead in that. So all of this is happening as these GTP cars with Chinsky and Babaletskos are trying to find their way through. And look at going low this time. I think that was, we said Babaletskos?
I think that was Babaletskos, yeah. All right, let's go on board with the James Vogler in his Porsche as he
this is the
and
battle for the
Corey
lead.
Saccone.
Oh, that's a lot of curb.
Oh, yes, it was.
He survived, but wow.
Yeah, he might have gotten a slowdown penalty for that one too, Larry. I don't know.
We'll have to see. He did touch the curb at least, so we'll see if he actually did, or he just had to back off because the car was practically airborne. But he managed to recover. Vogler didn't exactly get an advantage because he kind of had to hit the brakes anyway. He waited for Saccone to get out of the way. Now they are right on the heels of that strong-powered Aston Martin there of Robert Hartley, who's currently 6th in Pro, and they're going to go in side-by-side into 1. I think right behind him now, Noah Hogg. So that's your 1, 2, and 3 currently in the AM category of GT3. Side-by-side, nose to tail. I don't know how you want to call that.
Yeah, I don't know, Larry, but Vogler got a little tap, and that was the second tap that he had coming between turns 1 and 2, and he now gives up a position to Noah Hogg. So move Hogg into second position, and Vogler now, as he has Ethan Bass, Ethan Bass, our pro champion from last season, slot underneath him, and I'm sure this isn't the way Bass wanted to start the season off, but good pickup there.
Yeah, we had seen 1 or 2 races last season where he didn't get the greatest qualifying, and here he is going to try and go low with the battle in front of him.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, as Noah Hogg gets the spot in the front, Bass gets ahead of Ciccone, but yeah, we had seen some qualifying sessions for Bass where he didn't exactly be on the front couple rows, managed to work his way through the field as the night went on. He may be doing that here, still in the top 10, but I'm sure he'd like to be up a little bit higher. Look at this. Again, we're going to go side by side, and that's going to be big contact there as the 24 Vogler loses out.
Yep, and Vogler there in the showing us the PC racing machine. We just have him down as a privateer. He gets pushed out of the bus stop, and he's going to have to wait for the next line to come through, Larry. Let's do this. We're heading right up towards the top of the hour, and I think we're going to probably see a whole. You
want to wait one corner? It's going to get spicy.
Let's do this. All right, I can do that.
Let's just see if they survive this corners. You got a Klimovich right there. You got a Dan Carino right there. And then, of course, you got Brian Coxon and Orion. Look at that. Clear heads prevail.
Larry, that was the most inconsequential turn I think we've seen all night long.
It was looking spicy for a minute, but the Klim Club can be happy. One more corner as Michael survives, and now we can go to break.
All right, let's do that. Let's go thanks to our partners and sponsors. And when we come back, another, I don't even know how many minutes at this point, Larry. What is it? About another 45 minutes or so, 40 minutes of racing here from Daytona International Speedway in round number 1 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge. Stay with us.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The SCCA Foundation is a 501c3 organization serving as the charitable arm of the Sports Car Club of America. One of the programs partially funded by the foundation is the SCCA Academy, an online learning management system used to keep real-life racing track officials up to date on the highest standards of race safety and officiating. Through this program, the SCCA Foundation is supporting the future of the best trained corner workers and event officials in motorsport. You can support these efforts at www.sccafoundation.org. The search is over. The most comprehensive league scoring solution is here, with the ability for multi-level championships, custom incident tracking, post-race time penalties, support for heats, drop weeks display, multi-car team scoring, advanced web widgets, rookie championships, a custom paint system, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com. Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The SCCA Foundation is a 501c3 organization serving as the charitable arm of the Sports Car Club of America. One of the programs partially funded by the foundation is the SCCA Academy, an online learning management system used to keep real-life racing track officials up to date on the highest standards of race safety and officiating. Through this program, the SCCA Foundation is supporting the future of the best trained corner workers and event officials in motorsport. You can support these efforts at www.sccafoundation.org.
The
search is over. The most comprehensive league scoring solution is here, with the ability for multi-level champions.
Welcome to Daytona International Speedway. Welcome back to Daytona. It is the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge here on Apex Racing TV. I'm Greg Ginsburg. He's Larry Lefty McLeod. And this, Larry, is our race leader, Stephen Hudek from DNA Motorsports, who now has almost 5 seconds on the rest of the field as we're getting pretty close to pit stop time for our GTP racers as he comes up onto the back of one of his teammates, now heading into coming into turn 6 and heading out.
Yeah, we're getting close to those pit stops. Probably could be any time, but there's been a few that have already gotten an early start, we should say, in the pits, perhaps damage induced. But this will be interesting because you've got, within reasonable noise, you've got, of course, Connor Nixon in second place. GTP is trying to chase down Stephen Hudek. Billy Petrowski falling a little bit further back. They're currently in that third spot, but it's the GT3s. I think it's going to be interesting, of course, with Leo Dragotta leading the way. Teammate Shane McNeely in second, but then you got Lucas right on the heels as we're watching right now. Right on the heels.
Talk about chasing down. This is this is quite intriguing here as Dragotta is right on the back of McNeely. And Larry, that is our now former leader, Stephen Hudek, coming down the pit lane to take service in his Porsche 963, the SRT esports machine. That now will move Connor Nixon up to the lead in the Drop Air Motorsports entry, and Bailey Petrowski now running in second, albeit almost 10 seconds in arrears.
Yeah, I always look at the opportunities for pits to really come down to where is traffic. How do you maximize your lap times to not get stuck behind GT3s for one extra lap? So you're looking for that. You're looking for the field in front of you to say, I'm going to catch, let's say, a couple of bad corners for GT3 cars. If I'm in a GTP, I'm coming in. And so you could get caught if suddenly in the wrong place, wrong time. That's the decision you got to make, though. We'll see if perhaps Stephen Hudek made the right call as he's on his way back out of his pit stall right now. Meanwhile, Lucas Dragotta has made the pass on Shane McNeely. So now it's a Dragotta 1-2 as Leo Dragotta heads to the pits. We'll see who comes in behind him. Yep, and so does Lucas, and so does McNeely. Here comes all the GT3s. Milan Harris. Does anybody stay out? Ilya Speaker, no, he's coming in. What about Jeff Brooks?
Yeah, let's see. Jeff will be next in line. Let's see what he does.
It really looks like everyone's coming in.
Brooks is in as well.
Yeah.
Is he now come there? He is just appearing into the view, and he'll be coming down the pit lane. That may move Ethan Bass. Nope, Bass is going to come down for service as well.
We're going to keep an eye on this.
Saccone in the number 13 machine, Larry, goes to the lead. And he is your leader in AM at the moment, although this may just be, may not be a great thing for him. As when we went to break, we heard that Saccone was assigned a 10-second post-race penalty for the contact that he had with James Vogler in the bus stop.
Well, right now he's leading all GT3s at the moment, so 10 seconds or not, at least in the moment, he's got that lead. Brian Coxon's got the pro lead, but actually it's Sircone who's got the overall right now, not by much, as he's got a few others right behind him. There's a couple Klimoviches there between the pit exchanges and all, so we'll get to all that in a minute. Meanwhile, this is Leo Dragota just trying to kind of stay out of the way of one of the DNA GTPs. Let's say maybe that was Ben Rose.
Ben Rose, I believe, with the burgundy colored car. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looks like his livery out there heading out onto the banking. But for the folks that were in the line in the near the lead, it is Leo Dragota 4 seconds ahead of Lucas Dragota, who got the advantage there coming out of the pits on Shane McNeely. About 8/10 there between them. Then you got Milan Harris, Mike Dam, and Ilya Speaker. Meanwhile, another Orion driver, Travis Schwenke, has made his way down pit lane, along with, there's been a David Klimovich sighting. There you go. As Doug was asking in the chat, where is David? There he is.
David?
He has made his way into the pits and back out for the slow bros. Trying to chase down Travis Schwenke at this stage.
All right, Tanner Dibble and Ben Rose now bring their Acuras down the pit lane.
All right, so another one comes in, Babaletsko. So it's Dibble, Rose, and Babaletsko down pit lane, waiting to see Stephen Hudak go by. Should be happening any second now.
And Larry, ask and you shall receive, or mention
there he
and
goes,
he shall
back to the top.
pass the line. And there you go, Stephen Hudak, once again your leader.
And then it should be, if I have this right, Connor Nixon at some point here. Billy Petrowski is going to take the second spot, but where is the Orbit Drop Bear? Nixon, we're going to have to wait and see, as he's just leaving the pits now. May have had an issue for Connor Nixon, the Orbit Drop Bear entry, who had been running as high as second for the last second half of that first half, so to speak. And, well, his loss is Billy Petrowski's gain, who now finds himself in second spot. He started, seventh in this thing, and now he's all the way to second for the D2D entry driver, making his way back in here in the field in that Cadillac, trying to come to grips with it. And right now he's got an advantage for Tanner Dibble and Ben Rose and Jordan Butler. Connor Nixon may have had a connection issue, so he may be out, as that's Aaron Beaver. That's Billy Petrowski and Bobby Child's teammate. But it does not look like Nixon is around. There may have been a connection issue, unfortunately, for Connor Nixon.
Yeah, and I think that's going around, Larry, because I just heard over the radios that Aaron Sunday, driver of the number 331 GT3 AM Mercedes, he's on the pit lane now. He was involved in an incident that race control and the stewards are going to look at after the race, because it may have involved some connectivity issues. And I heard that was with the 02 car.
Well, we'll keep an eye on that. Of course, Nixon, at this point, it's probably late morning, early in the day there in down under, where he's connecting from. And he'll go and just make himself some lunch.
Yeah, and there we go. We've got somebody from OHND saying someone slammed into Aaron from behind, had no idea what the heck happened. He's so upset.
That's frustrating.
Yeah, there you go. Well, maybe whoever ran into him just blinked out at the scene of the crime, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah. All right. Well, got a couple little battles going on. Noah Hogg, who had been in the fight for the top three in the M category, is falling down a little further in the order now, but right behind him, it should be Josh Fadal in that white and green entry as one of our D2D entries against Aaron Beaver. It's just trying to get on by.
All right, Larry, let's take a look here at Tanner Dibble. as he comes down now towards
a little lockup.
the,
That's a lot of lockup.
yes, a lot of lockup
Yes.
there going
He
down into
avoided-
the International Horseshoe.
Yeah, he avoided contact, but managed to get it going again, but not without a little bit of time loss on that good, clean re-entry there. Meanwhile, back checking in with Noah Hogg, still in that little battle with Josh Vidal. It should be the battle for 5th here in GT3 AM, with Chacon leading. Carrito and Vogel are now your top 3.
All right, Larry, and up at the front of GT3 Pro, Shea McNeil. I don't know if we covered this with Shea McNeil. He did manage to get back around Lucas Dragotta. I believe he did that as they were all under cold tires and on the out lap coming out of the pits. And McNeely now with about 2 seconds on young Lucas Dragotta, but Leo now with a healthy advantage, almost 7 seconds on the rest of the GT3 field.
Yeah, Leo at this point is just sort of hitting marks and not worried about what's behind him, just trying to stay clean, watching the mirrors for GTPs to make sure he can make it through the next 25 minutes or so. Meanwhile, we'll catch a little replay here of a spinning Michael Klimovich just past turn 1, and that is a precarious position if there ever was one.
Oh my.
Oh. Yeah, that is a tough place because coming in, you can't see. You might have a spotter telling you there's a car on right, but you can't see it because the pit wall is right in your way. Lucky for Michael, he's able to get himself out of harm's way soon enough. And so, Doug, there's your answer. How did Mike get to 7? That's it.
That's how. Oh my. Because McNeely, as you can see, has a little bit of breathing room here. That last time around, Lucas Dragotta managed to knock a 1/10 of a second off of McNeely's advantage.
Yeah, Lucas has got some strong pace here tonight. He definitely brought his A game, probably doing a little bit of practicing, maybe even some setup with quote-unquote the enemy there with brother Leo across the other side of the house. But both of them running in the AMG here tonight, so there may be a little bit of setup sharing and some coaching going on between them with older brother Leo and younger brother Lucas.
Now, remind me, Larry, I know we talked to Lucas and Leo, obviously, a number of times last season. Did they say that they were coming down to Daytona for a karting event, if I remember right, in January? Or maybe
they may have, yeah. There's a massive karting event happening at this exact track every January. It's kind of like the world center of karting when it gets to that time of the year. And those guys being active kart racers, they were supposed to have made the way. I did not hear any results, see how it went, but that's an event I'd love to go down to and just check out and hang out. And who knows, maybe even bring the shifter and throw it down for a few laps. Be a good time. Right now, the shifter's just collecting dust in my ice-cold basement. As we are not experiencing Florida weather. We're experiencing 25-mile-an-hour winds and snow here. Just watching the sim here in Daytona looks nicer than if I look out the window at my house. So this is great for me.
Well, I don't know, Larry. I was speaking to Linda Duncan earlier today, and somebody that you and I know, and she and Howard are based on the Gulf Coast, and she was ruining the white stuff that was on the ground when they woke up this morning. No,
white sand?
Apparently, no, apparently just frost.
Aw. I'll have to message Linda and Howard and say I feel so sorry for you having that frost on the grass this morning. You can stop by my house and shovel 5 or 6 inches of snow here in Detroit if you'd like. But it's one thing, here in the sim with Daytona, you never have to worry about snow. There is rain at Daytona.
Yes.
As of course the iRacing 24-hour was this past weekend. I know a lot of our competitors in this Ricmotech series race did participate in that, and there was a little bit of rain, I believe, that they were throwing at those drivers in that 24, but not so much tonight. And definitely no snow. So disappointing.
No, definitely no snow.
Send my request in to the iRacing gods, say, can you make snow happen? I mean, at least Road America should have snow, right? Maybe Mosport.
I agree.
Yeah. Watkins Glen. And some of these tracks should definitely have a snow option.
Hey, I've coached drivers at events in the snow at Summit Point.
See? There you go. We need that. I've driven in the snow at VIR. It's a real thing.
That's right.
Yeah.
I was to say there's nothing better than taking a police package Caprice around the final turn on the Jefferson Circuit and into a 10-foot snowbank. Anyway, yeah, you haven't lived until you've done that, Larry. All right. As you said, we're watching this. This is the battle for the lead in GT3 AM. Corey Cercone, Dan Carrido. And as we mentioned, Cercone does have a 10-second post-race penalty coming towards him.
Right now that would drop him at least into fourth, if not fifth, behind Weston and probably behind Hogg, who I believe might have been the one that he got tangled with, which may have triggered that penalty. It's either him or it was Vogler. But right now, Vogler is sitting in third. Yeah, Vogler is currently in third, chasing down Carrito for second. Meanwhile, we're going to check in with some of our SRT Esport drivers here at GTP. That is Jack Pollack. He's just ahead of Ryan Amoyles, who's, I think, trying to get his pace going again. There is Jack. Big contingent of SRT Esport here tonight, including your overall race leader, Stephen Hudek.
And Hudek continuing to expand that lead over Bailey Petrowski. Petrowski trying to get the rust off. Larry, but
Bailey's
still
been
very good run.
He's been shaking rust. I'm watching that delta. It is coming down.
Indeed.
Now under 9 seconds. It had been about 11, so Bailey's picking up the pace as the night goes on. Still about 20 minutes left on the clock here in this 75-minute race. Probably going to need a little bit of help if he wants to try and catch Steven, but certainly showing Bailey's got the pace in the long runs. He's probably looking forward to the 90-minute race later this season.
Yeah, and Larry, as we see here, he's got at least a little bit of clean air ahead of him.
Yeah.
Not many drivers up, a couple GT3 racers now up on the oval. But last time around, we'll see here as Petrowski comes across the line. On the previous lap, Petrowski was about a second and a half faster than Hudek. But again, it's been so hard to tell as the traffic has really affected these racers. So we'll check here as he makes his way back around as he gets, balked just a little bit coming out of the bus stop. Yeah.
So smooth, though. He timed that very well to get this run and get past this group that he just went by. One of the Klimoviches right there in that bunch, but without really any hesitation. May have lost just a couple of tenths, but great run for Bailey just coming out of there trying to time that. Was what we talked about in the pre-race about how difficult it is to time that just right when you're trying to get around GT3 cars.
All right, well, that time by Larry, again, not quite as quick as the prior lap, but almost a full second faster than Stephen Hudek.
Yeah. Well, now he's going to be making his way through the GT3 leader group. That was Josh Vidal, who I think is currently 6th in GT3 AM, and he'll be making his way all the way up to that 3-pack that's fighting for the lead now in AM. Meanwhile, Mike Dam, certainly one of the veterans and longtime winners here in this series. He's in a battle right now with Milan Harris, the Rockefeller Racing Porsche just in front of him, and Mike Dam in the Ferrari tonight. We've seen him in the Porsche a lot in the past. I don't know if I've seen him in the Ferrari.
No, this is the first time I've seen him behind the wheel of the prancing horse.
Yeah, we've seen them in the Audi. We've seen him in a couple of cars, but a little different look here for Mike Dam, as it looks like Aaron Beaver right behind them. Aaron being patient. Must learn
so
that
patient, in fact, that he's going to follow them through the International Horseshoe.
That's all right. He's being very patient tonight, is Aaron Beaver. Bailey Petrowski is definitely wearing off on the whole DTD team, teaching patience, something Bobby maybe needs to continue to work on.
Oh, my.
Sorry, Bobby. Mike Dam looking very tidy here, trying to set up a run on Milan Harris the next time they get to the banking. Just up ahead is turn 6. See if Mike can get himself a good shot here. A little late, actually, at that turn in, and you can see Harris, that Porsche, just plants so well.
And Larry, we did have did have the folks from Rockefeller Racing here, and I'm sure that's probably Rocky Rocco in the chat, wanting to know where all the Rockefeller Racing drivers were. Well, there's one of them, and Milan Harris.
4th, 6th.
Yeah. I was going to say 4th. Ilya Speaker, not that far back in his Porsche in 6th position, and Rocky was talking about it was a very difficult choice to go with the Porsche chassis this season, but so far looking like they made the right decision.
Yeah, the Porsche, not the strongest power numbers, but yes, you saw it there compared to Mike Dam. The Porsche plants and goes. It really does put the power down well, as you'd expect with their GT3 variant, and really helps at a track like this to be able to just plant and go, because there's a lot of slow corners followed by long straightaways, and that is what the Porsche does well. If you can get behind it, though, perhaps you can do some damage there and get a draft pass. Meanwhile, Aaron Beaver and all that patience has not paid off, as he had some issues there in turn 1.
And Larry, I'm not sure, but I saw another GTP car off in the grass when we picked up.
Was it the teammate?
Aaron Beaver, and I think it might have been America's favorite GTP driver, Bobby Jones.
All right, well, here's that replay. Aaron coming through, losing it. Just a 4-wheel slide mid-corner. That is...
We're seeing that a lot here at turn 1.
Wow. That's just tire wear, I assume. I'd be curious to go back and check, see if he took tires. Here's the replay of Bobby Childs having his own horseshoe issues. He's just going to make the horseshoe continue to loop around.
Yeah, it looked like he may have just gotten to the throttle a little bit early there coming out of the International Horseshoe.
But, also wonder if the temperature's coming up. I believe this was a morning session today, so as we're now an hour into this race, I'm starting to wonder if that temperature is starting to come up, causing a little extra tire wear, a little bit loss of tire grip as well.
Well, we've got 15 minutes remaining here from Daytona, so let the frost melt off.
All right, good look here as Jordan Butler trying to fend off teammates. Ben Rose right behind him. I think another one, Tanner Dibble, isn't too much further back, as the DNA team are kind of playing together here.
Larry, let's jump back over to GT3 AM, the battle between Dan Corrido and I believe
Corey
Vogler.
Chacon
Corey.
Vogler.
Yeah, actually, Corey Chacon, Corrido, and then Dan Vogler is
They're all there
as well.
Yeah, this
James
is
Vogler, probably not Dan Vogler.
Yeah, Vogler, Corrido, Chacon. This is going to be now we know that Chacon's got the penalty coming to him, so Corrido and Vogler are really the ones battling for the position. But I'm sure Chacon's not going to make it easy, even though he's got that penalty coming. He wants to keep the pace up so he can minimize his position loss come into the race. I'm sure he'd like to make sure he stays 10 seconds clear of the 4th place Neil Weston, or 5th place Noah Hagen. Just peeking to the inside is Vogler. The Porsche's got good brakes, choosing not to use them there. I got to figure the Porsche can outbrake the Mustang.
I would think. And the Mustang looked very out of sorts coming off of the oval, Larry.
And then right behind them is Robert Hartley. Now, he's pro class running in 9th, but Hartley can be quicker. We've seen some issues, as you can tell by the damage on the front of that Aston Martin. Having some issues tonight, he might just be playing it safe here, letting these guys fight it out because they're all in the same class. Yeah, so Corrido. Oh, and then there's the spin for Vogler as he just spun out in the West Horseshoe, and that's not good. We're just going to say it, talking about Corrido and his aggressiveness, and it's Vogler who ends up being the one who spins, and now he's further down the order. Let's watch that replay. I think it's just all self-induced here. Maybe a little bit spooked with the car on the right there, just doing a bit of re-entry, and that was Dale Maxwell, but no contact. It was just Maxwell maybe being there just caused Vogler to twitch. And post-race penalty issued to Aaron Beaver.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Beaver, and it sounded like that Beaver and Sircone had actually gotten together.
Well, on the screen there is the graphic telling the story here as Lucas Tricota has picked up that pace very well. We thought maybe he would, and I'm starting to wonder if McNeely maybe didn't take on enough fuel in his stop, maybe do a little fuel saving, but now he's got to use it all because Lucas Tricota right on the heels of that Porsche with now about 12 minutes to go in this thing, and McNeely I don't know how much fight he's got in him. If it is a fuel issue, it's going to be tough to go 100% pace here for the next 12 minutes. Might even have Milan Harris even chasing these guys down if they actually start to fight.
And Harris at the moment about 4 seconds back from the duo here.
There he is. There's a Rockefeller Racing entry. All right, diving in, there's a great look on board at the Le Mans chicane from Milan Harris. You can see just diving on the way in, then you got to really take speed off once the car settles over the first 2 curbs. A good example there, Milan Harris. Look at Lucas being patient back here. He's not really pushing the issue, letting Stephen Hudak go by. Yeah, experience for the. I don't even know if he's a teenager at this point. He might be now. I almost called him a preteen. You don't want to insult a teenager and call him a preteen. He is younger than you and I, Greg. That's for sure.
That is true.
But he's showing a lot of patience here, right behind McNeely. Maybe he's also sensing that if they fight, it'll be Milan Harris and Mike Dam catching them very quickly. And so Lucas might be waiting until there's maybe 5 minutes to go, just a handful of laps before he really pushes the issue.
Well, I mean, he was able to get McNeely on pace before the pit stop. So, I mean, yeah, I think you're right. I think he's just kind of laying in wait.
Yeah. Well, we haven't talked about this guy all tonight. There's Dre Divock in the Wrong Stuff Aston Martin. At least a lap down. I mentioned him. Yeah. Returning to our World Challenge races. Healy's able to get by here before they get to the chicane. And there is Lucas as well.
Larry, let's jump over. I think we're watching right now Josh Chinsky and Josh Chinsky and his Ferrari having some issues there.
Yeah, just kind of losing it all by himself. That's a bit of a shocker. As Josh, who had won the LMP2 class a couple seasons back, one of the prototype specialists out here, jumping into the GTPs now in this season, and been a struggle here late in the race. I'm starting to wonder if tire wear is catching up. We've seen a lot of this. We saw, of course, Aaron Beaver had his big slide. We've seen a couple of other cars having slides here late in this race. I'm starting to wonder if tire wear catching up with them. Look at the DNA fight here, though.
Yeah, between
Dibble,
Butler,
Rose,
and
Butler.
Dibble.
All of them. I suspect these guys probably also just ran the 24-hour this past weekend, so they're all tuned into this track. This is the battle for the podium. This is third step.
This is it.
Yeah, Butler's got it. Rose and Dibble won it. The HTPK car in the middle of it says, I don't want any of it. You guys can have it.
He just says, let the good times roll.
Yeah. I got to imagine these guys have got to be on somewhat similar setups. I mean, they're all in the Acura. They're all teammates. And they probably all just ran together, or maybe a couple of cars at the 24-hour last weekend. So pretty even match here for Butler, Rose, and Dibble. I just want to note Bailey Petrowski with 8 minutes to go, just 7 seconds back from leader Stephen Hudak. So Hudak could be in cruise control. Don't know. Could be managing his fuel. We don't know. There is the graphic. Thank you, John. So we'll keep our eyes on that.
And Larry, in the battle
go ahead.
I was going to say the battle for 14th in GTP. I think João de Gregorio just came down the pit lane, or actually just left the pit lane, I think, for a splash of gas to get him to the end of the race. And he and Elvis Rankin still, they're separated by about 5 seconds, albeit I think how many laps? Currently about
yeah.
10 laps down from the lead, but still
They each spent
still
they
fighting it
spent
out.
about 15 minutes in the pits. In fact, Elvis, I believe, was in the chat a little bit earlier. It's probably at 2 o'clock in the morning. And
I would say hopefully he had time to go kiss mom goodnight and last season when we spoke to Elvis after taking a race win, he said that his mom had no idea. They share an apartment or share a flat, and she had no idea that he was up all night racing.
What else would he be doing?
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know, clubbing on a Monday night, Tuesday morning.
One thing to note is you look at the GT3 AM standings. Mr. Cohn, who's got that penalty coming, still leading Carrito 1-2. And if it stays that way, Carrito would likely get that win. But I'm watching the gap to third place. And right now, Noah Hogg is just inside, right about that 10 seconds.
10 seconds? I was going to say,
it's about 10.1 seconds. Yeah, so if you're Noah Hogg, it is critical you stay within 10 seconds of the leader, Sir Cohn. It looks like Bailey Petrowski had himself a bit of a moment.
Yes, he
went from
did.
6 seconds to 18. Let's see. Is it the new bus stop that bites? Oh, that's a big bite.
Oh,
that is a large chunk of curb that he just had a taste of.
Oh my!
That is not what he wanted with 5 minutes left in this race tonight.
Larry, it looked like he was. He might as well have been on a motorcycle there. It looked like that car was going to do an endo.
Oh, onboard. Buckle up. It's going to get bumpy. And there it is.
Oh, there you go.
Wow. He's lucky he didn't get out to the outside wall. But really, no damage. It could have been a lot worse for Bailey.
Well,
still in second place. But the threesome of Butler, Rose, and Dibble are closing in, but probably not fast enough. We'll see if they stay in that order as we get down to the end of this thing. Less than 5 minutes. Battle for third, heating up.
yeah, but
Is it going to be a pass? Dibble going high on Rose. Just faking it, filling some mirrors.
Meanwhile, Butler's bought himself at least a little bit of a buffer at this point, Larry. May not last all the way to the end, depending on the traffic here.
Well, there is a GT3 Mercedes right next to him, now behind him, and that, I believe, is that overall leader in GT3, Leo Dragota, trying to now...
I believe that's Leo Dragota, the silver Mercedes,
trying
flashing
to
the headlights.
Trying to make that Mercedes as small as he can to let these 3 DNA GTPs go through. Meanwhile, younger brother Lucas still just sort of parked in the shadows of McNeely. They have managed to pull a couple of seconds further ahead of Milan Harris and Mike Dam. I'm starting to wonder, at what point does Lucas start to get antsy and make a move? Does he wait till coming out of the bus stop in the last lap? Or me, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably try and do it maybe the previous lap, maybe even 2 laps before. So that puts either this time or the next when he's got to be ready and going. This is a bus stop run. We'll see what Lucas's move looks like this time. Oh, he's getting antsy now.
Yeah, he's getting...
This could be it now with 3 minutes to go.
He is locked in. Does he go low, Larry, or does he go high?
I think you'd like to go low, but I think McNeely is going to protect that yellow line all the way around. Lucas is pushing. He's bump drafting. He's making McNeely think about it. Oh, McNeely may have gone high. This might open the door. Lucas is going to try it. Can he slow it? They almost contact, but I think they're clean. Through the small little chicane wiggle, side by side into the horseshoe. Lucas is ahead, but can he stick it?
Lucas had to go
there's
very
contact.
Deep.
Oh, it's so close, but he's got the advantage now through the infield kink. And now it looks like a full car length ahead. Lucas Dragotta may finish the pass. Can he hold it now? As shoes on the other foot. McNeely now, who's going to try and get the up and under move here. Get a run out of the other horseshoe.
And Larry, that was a great defense at the Western Horseshoe. I thought that perhaps Lucas had gone in too shallow, but he was able to just keep it right on the curbing to hold McNeely off. Great move there. And you could just see the start of that sequence. McNeely went high to protect, and Lucas was ready to dive right underneath him going into turn one. Amazing move.
We're watching Stephen Hudak, your overall race leader. I think this might be white flag lap. It's really close. It was really close to being a minute and a half to go when he crossed the stripe. So right now we'll believe it is white flag. Barney should be out there waving it. That means he's got just about 3/4 of a lap now to get around and to try and win round one in this race. But nothing's over until it's over, that's for sure. But what that means is McNeely is going to get maybe 2 more shots at this.
Yeah, I would say he might have a couple opportunities to do it as...
well, it depends on...
come across the stripe.
Okay, there you go. That's white flag for these guys now. So McNeely's got one more time around to try and take that spot back. Or it could be a Dragotta 1-2. 2 different teams, but in the same house. Lucas getting defensive here on the infield. That's probably fine for McNeely. I don't think he's trying anything here. In fact, he'd probably like to see Lucas watching his mirrors more than his windshield.
All right, Stephen Hudak now on the oval. He's going to make a run down here towards the start-finish line. And taking the win, Larry, in round number 1 of season 15, the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge, Stephen Hudak from SRT Esports. Coming across the line, finishing second. I'm sure he didn't anticipate this when he started 7th tonight. Yeah. Bailey Petrowski from D2D Sim Racing will get the second step on the GTP podium. And where are 3 DNA racers?
It's going to be close. It's going to be close at the stripe.
Or is it going to be a photo finish, Larry, as they come to the line? It's going to be Jordan Butler by 16 hundredths of a second, probably 16 thousandths of a second over Ben Rose. And Ben Rose with another 14 thousandths back to Tanner Dibble. What a run there. And over in GT3 Pro, Leo Dragotta from Orion Race Team. He is your race winner. Starts off the season at the top of the leaderboard. And Lucas Dragotta, he's going to hold off Leo's teammate. Lucas Dragotta from the Thomas Eng Sim Racing Team will finish second in his Mercedes-AMG GT3. Shea McNeely from Orion Race Team and his Porsche 911 GT3 will come home in third. Let's move over to GT3 AM, where Corey Saccone in his McLaren.
For now.
Yeah, I was going to say for now. In the SRT Esport McLaren, he's got to make it down into.
There's a penalty. He's taking the checker, but he's got that 10 second
already.
But he took the 10-second penalty coming.
That's right. So Saccone, Carrizo, and Noah Hogg, your top 3 on track. But as we look at the timing,
I think it's going to be Carrito getting the win. I think Sircone's going to hang on to second by about a 1/10 and a half. Yeah. Noah Hogg's going to stay in third, but super close. Great racing in the AM category. Vogler was up there for a while. I was really making it a fun fight in that group. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season here at GT3 AM.
Oh my, I am as well. All right, Larry, let's do this. Let's take another break. We'll be back and speak to our race winners tonight here from Daytona in round number 1 of the World Challenge. Please stay with us.
The SCCA Foundation is a 501c3 organization serving as the charitable arm of the Sports Car Club of America. One of the programs partially funded by the foundation is the SCCA Academy, an online learning management system used to keep real-life racing track officials up to date on the highest standards of race safety and officiating. Through this program, the SCCA Foundation is supporting the future of the best-trained corner workers and event officials in motorsport. You can support these efforts at www.sccafoundation.org.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Whether you're just looking to have fun, train for race day, or become a serious esports competitor, Ricmotech has you covered. Hundreds of name brand parts. Support from experts that love sim racing. Trusted by the pros. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
The search is over. The most comprehensive league scoring solution is here, with the ability for multi-level championships, custom incident tracking, post-race time penalties, support for heats, drop weeks display, multi-car team scoring, advanced web widgets, rookie championships, a custom paint system, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Ricmotech high-performance sim racing equipment. Hundreds of name brand parts. Expert support. Ricmotech has you covered. There's only one place to go, Ricmotech.com.
Welcome back to Daytona International Speedway, where you just seen round number 1 of the Extreme Motorsports Ricmotech World Challenge. Larry, let's take a look at that final result where Stephen Hudak from SRT Esport picks up right where he left off, takes the win in GTP. Bailey Petrowski, after a season off, he finishes second for D2D Sim Racing, with Jordan Butler leading his 2 DNA Motorsports teammates across the line. I think there were only about 0.3 of a second separating the 3 of them. Over in GT3 Pro, it's Leo Dragota from the Orion Race Team taking the win over Lucas Dragota in the Thomas Eng Sim Racing entry, and Shay McNeely from Orion comes home in third. Now let's go over and take a look at GT3 AM, where Corey Saccone for SRT Esport was your winner on track. He does have a 10-second post-race penalty coming to him, so we believe that will give the win to Dan Corrido from WBM Racing, but we'll let the officials figure that out after the fact. Noah Hogg from Velocity Motorsports brings his Porsche home in third place. So let's take a look, Larry. We've got a couple people in the green room. Let's talk first to our overall winner tonight, driving the number 44 SRT Esport Porsche 963, Stephen Hudak.
All right, Stephen Hudak joining us here, getting the win in the round 1. We know, Stephen, last year you wound up with that championship with that great drive in the finale. He's starting out the season with a win. How did it look from your standpoint tonight? And it looked like a hectic race.
Good evening, guys. Yeah, it was quite a race. I didn't think that I would be in the winner's circle tonight with Elvis, the pro driver, in the race tonight. But as they say, to finish first you must finish. So yeah, really happy with the pace that I had. We've done a really good job over the last month and a half dialing this setup in with John, Pat, and the rest of the SDT guys. The car was just flying tonight.
Yeah, it looked absolutely solid, and really just able to manage that race. But tell me a little bit of what it's like to have like about 50 GT3 cars on track. I think this is bigger than all the splits even in the iRacing official 24 Daytona here. What's it like trying to get through a field of 50 about every 3 times around?
It's definitely interesting. Lots of opportunities for things to go sideways, and fortunately for me, I was able to manage traffic pretty well and avoided any shenanigans with other cars. So it's one of those things where to be a good sports car driver, you have to be able to manage traffic, and I think I'm able to do that fairly well. So shows with the result tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Great way to manage the race here tonight and really bring it on home on what was a complete hectic night. We'll see if the rest of the season is going to have this high of a field entry. I'm hoping it does because it's a lot of fun to watch, but it certainly brings the nerves up for everybody out there participating. But great job getting the win here in the opening round tonight. But I know you've got a big team, and I'm sure you got family and friends watching in. You want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, first I gotta thank the wife. She's been amazing and supporting me through all of this. I gotta thank my dad who's watching at home, and got a big shout out to the SRT guys. They are a phenomenal crew. I didn't lie when I said I was bringing an army of SRT guys with me in the finale last season, and I delivered. Yeah, John Pat has done an amazing job with the setups, as you know, all of us giving the feedback, and we did an amazing job in the 24-hour Daytona. I myself did not do good in our team, but the team consisting of Josh, Jake, and Kevin ended up winning their splits, so that's awesome. And it got to have a special shout out to Dave Menino, who wasn't racing tonight, but for good reason, as he just got hitched over the weekend. And Kevin's feeling under the weather as well, so he wasn't racing tonight. But those guys will all be in attendance for Watkins Glen.
Looking forward to that. But tonight you get to celebrate a heck of a win. And maybe this makes up for not having a great run there in Daytona over the weekend. Starting out the season here with a win, it's got to feel a little bit good. There may be a little bit of consolation for that. But congrats, Stephen Dudek getting the win, SRT Esport here in GTP.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one.
All right, Larry, let's move over to GT3 Pro, where we have Leo Dragota from the Orion Race Team taking the win tonight in his Mercedes AMG GT3. Let's hear from him.
All right, taking the win in that GT3 Mercedes is Leo Dragota. And Leo, great run for you. Very consistent run to the field tonight. Tell me a bit about what you thought of the race from your perspective.
I mean, I didn't practice much in this car, so I wasn't expecting much. I practiced mostly in the BMW because of Daytona 24. But during the practice before the race, I had good pace, so then I put it on pole and just tried to be as consistent as I could. I made a couple mistakes, had a couple of scary moments, but overall it's a pretty good race.
Yeah, do you find switching between the BMW and the Mercedes to be kind of similar? Do they have a similar balance feel in how they drive, as opposed to maybe switching from the Porsche or one of the more mid-engine cars?
It felt kind of different. I feel like the Bimmer, you could feel more of the road and stuff. This one, the Merc feels a little more floaty. So that was probably the biggest thing that I had to adjust to. Different gears, different lines to the bus stop especially. And then compared to like a mid-engine car, I felt like the Merc felt a little like more similar to a mid-engine car than it did to the front-engine BMW today. Usually it doesn't, but I don't know, maybe it's just this track. It's very pointy.
Yeah. Well done tonight to be able to make that transition, I guess, when you start getting a few thousand laps in over a weekend. Even in the BMW, jumping into the Mercedes isn't too big of a step, but you certainly made it work very well. And very cool livery here, by the way. I've noticed the Garage 67 for you here in that silver Mercedes. It looked really good. But a great way to step into this brand new season with a win. That's got to feel pretty good to step out this way. Are we anything going forward you expect differently? Expecting different challenges? Or are you just happy to get one win under your belt?
I expect a lot of people to be more competitive next round when we go away from Daytona. There's only like 3 good cars here that are like similar, and then you got the rest that are really far off pace. So I expect all my teammates who are in different cars to be up there. Yeah.
That'll be very interesting when we go to a much smaller track there with the Glen in a couple of weeks. We'll see if we have 58 cars signed up for that one. But for tonight, you get the win here, round 1. Great way to start off the season. But I know you've probably got some teammates and families and friends you want to give a shout out to.
Yeah, Lucas, he was cooking. You guys for the broadcast. Everybody at the league for doing another season. Orion. Yep.
All right. Well, congratulations, Leo Dragona, getting the win here in round 1 in the GT3 Pro category. Congrats.
Thanks.
All right, Larry, let's bring in now our race winner on track in GT3 AM. Again, we know that there's likely a penalty coming to him, but still a great first outing for him on track here tonight in GT3, driving the SRT Esport number 13 McLaren. It's Corey Saccone.
All right, Corey Saccone joining us here post-race. And Corey, a very eventful night tonight for you. Tell me a little bit of what it was like to get your feet wet here in the Ricmotech World Challenge.
It was sweaty. It was a sweaty night.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun. I definitely, I anticipated some fast drivers out there tonight, and they definitely did not disappoint. Let's just say that.
You had a couple of great battles. You had the battle there with Vogler. You had the battle with Carrito. We understand there's a post-race penalty coming to you. Walk me through a little bit of some of those battles and maybe how things might go differently the next time versus what went down tonight.
Yeah, Vogler, he just coming out of that bus stop and on that front stretch, he just would walk away from me. I couldn't compete with him there. My only chance to keep him behind me was the infield, and I was hoping maybe he would make a mistake to get far enough behind that he would lose the toe, but it just never happened, and he kept fighting back. And then we got up into that traffic, and all I saw was a Mustang in front of me. I couldn't see anything else. I didn't know if he kept up inside of me or if he backed out, and I tried to stay as wide as I could on entry and hoping nothing would happen. But yeah, it's tough racing. It's a shame. I didn't mean anything. I didn't mean to spin him or anything, but it was definitely a lot of fun. I got to respect him for that, and I definitely will.
Yeah, we're looking forward to a lot of that kind of great side-by-side racing as the season goes on. It looks like the AM battle is just going to be intense. It was our best battle tonight, obviously with yourself and Dan and some of the other guys in there, and I think we're looking forward to that continuing. So don't back down entirely, but it certainly was a lot of fun. And for your first intro to Ricmotech series, hopefully you walked away with a good feeling and ready for more.
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. Can't wait for the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. But while we got you here, anybody you want to give a shout out to while you got the chance?
Shout out to the wife for allowing me time to do this. Shout out to the kids for going to bed quickly and not causing a fuss.
That's a smart man
if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be able to do this. So,
smart man. Get the wife and the kids thanked first, right off the bat. Well, congrats for the performance here tonight. Looking forward to more great racing coming up.
All right, thanks. Looking forward to it.
All right, there you go. Gary Saccone, your winner on track tonight in GT3 AM Racing for SRT Esport. All right, Larry, so that's going to wrap things up from Daytona here. Let's take a look at what we've got coming up over the next couple of weeks in our Extreme Motorsports racing action here. Next Monday night, January 26th, 8:10 p.m. Eastern Time. It is round number 2 of the Ricmotech GT Pro Pedal Sports Car Challenge from Spa-Francorchamps. And definitely looking forward to that. Of course, Larry and I missed the opening round and heard we missed a banger, Larry. So this should be good. And if you want to get on the grid and race in the GT Pro Pedal Sports Car Challenge, you can do that. Go to xmsracing.com/GSC-shop. And as we've mentioned, in 2 weeks, February 2nd, 8:10 p.m., round 2 of the Ricmotech World Challenge is going to be at beautiful Watkins Glen International for another 75-minute race. And then February 9th, the GSC, the GT Pro Pedal Sports Car Challenge. That's more difficult to say than Mini Mike, Larry. Round number 3 will be down below the equator at Phillip Island. So there you go. That's what we got over the next couple of weeks. And so thanking, of course, Jonathan Grabowski behind the scenes, Larry Lefty McLeod, I'm Greg Ginsburg, and we'll see you next Monday night from Spa. Have a great week, everybody.
Ricmotech, high-performance sim racing equipment. There's only one place to go, ricmotech.com.